Link in the description. Now, let's see what's going on with these oligarchs, shall we? As Vladimir Putin's war in Ukraine has sparked demands for a financial crackdown on dictators and their oligarch networks, the Biden administration is proposing to waive punishments for a scandal-ridden bank amid revelations that it had been providing resources to autocrats and their financial cronies, reportedly including Russian oligarchs that the Biden administration is promising to target. This shows, doesn't it, that the simplification around international conflict and most obviously around war cannot be afforded to continue because actually there are Russian people everywhere. There are relationships, financial and corporate, that transcend national boundaries. That's what globalism is, a set of interests that don't really respect sovereignty and nationality if it's not convenient. The administration's proposed waiver for the global investment bank Credit Suisse, whose donors delivered more than $100,000 to President Biden's campaign, could shield a bank linked to those oligarchs as the war in Ukraine rages after Biden used his State of the Union address to promise a crackdown. So a pledge has been made to crack down on precisely these kind of interests, to make moves to prevent Russian oligarchs who have a historical connection to corruption, presumably, from forging financial ties with politics in the West. But what if those pledges are at odds with the deals they made when they accepted donations? Eek! This is Joe Biden. We are joining with our European allies to find and seize your yachts, your luxury apartments, your private jets, he declared. We are coming for your ill-begotten gains. You can't say stuff like that, though, unless you're super squeaky clean and you ain't got no skeletons in the closet yourself, right? That's absolutely necessary. And particularly and more locally, if you have accepted donations from those very interests, that's going to be complex. This once again shows the hypocrisy of contemporary politics at the level of public rhetoric. Whoa, your yachts, populist talk, right? Populism, oh, those elites with their yachts. But when it comes to crunch time, where's the money, honey? At issue is a January proposal from Biden's Labour Department to waive punishments against Credit Suisse for defrauding investors. Just waive those. Oh, sure, you defrauded some investors. As well as for knowingly and willfully aiding wealthy clients in tax evasion for multiple decades. Multiple decades. That's like you get like silver and golden anniversaries. You have to buy them proper anniversary gifts for how long they've been helping people defraud the tax department. And for 50 years, defrauding tax, that's the golden bastard for you. Knowingly and willfully as well. Do you know about this? Yeah? Are you willingly doing it? Oh, yes. News reporting has alleged that Credit Suisse has aided criminals and financed the luxury assets of oligarchs, raising additional questions about the Biden administration's proposal to let the bank off the hook. Why are they letting the bank off the hook? What American people want that? Do you know what we want most of all? Control of pharmaceutical prices, a free and fair America, and let those banks off the hook. You got it, buddy. I heard you loud and clear. In late February, a leak of the account information of more than 18,000 Credit Suisse clients revealed that the bank had been managing money for clients involved in torture, drug trafficking, money laundering, corruption, and other serious crimes. They got bored of listing the serious... Oh, God, they've done all this stuff. I can't list it. It's 18,000 of them. Can't go on listing all these crimes, but just know there's drug trafficking and torture involved. Is that not enough? When Credit Suisse pleaded guilty to fraud last year, they admit it. It's just, yeah, we did do that. Yeah, fraud. Oh, yeah, we did do that. Yeah, fraud. It risked losing its status as a qualified professional asset manager. You realize what this means? You've been convicted of fraud. You're going to lose your status as a qualified asset manager. Oh, no, don't do that. We're not going to do it, but you risked it. You risked it. Sometimes what I find funny is when you apply the morality to ordinary individual life. So imagine if you'd gone, yeah, I've done a bit of drug trafficking, some torture, and other serious crimes. Can't even keep the list going, really. Is it all right for me to still come into work tomorrow? Yes, in you come. Carry on. A required classification for banks to manage and profit from the lucrative retirement fund history. If the torture stuff doesn't prohibit you from belonging to that classification, it's not a very good classification, is it? When QPAM was originally created 40 years ago, lawmakers included a major stipulation for banks seeking the designation. They must avoid felony convictions. You can profit from this. All we ask, oh God, what, are we got to do something? Oh God, we only ask that you avoid felony convictions, okay? Ah, it's too much, I tell you. While that isn't an especially high bar, no, Credit Suisse has struggled to meet it. What do you mean I gotta get up at 7? Avoid felony convictions all morning, all the way through when I'm eating my lunch. No felonies during that. What about in my breaks? Can I do some felonies? No. It's too hard. In 2014, when the Justice Department found that Credit Suisse had aided its clients in dodging tax enforcement by falsifying documents for them or helping them hide assets in offshore accounts, Credit Suisse found itself on the verge of losing its QPAM status. Oh God, you won't take away our QPAM status, will you? No, but you risked it. But the Obama Labour Department let the bank off the hook. It granted Credit Suisse a waiver. The bank's donors delivered more than $1 million worth of donations to Democratic politicians and groups. I'm sure that's just a coincidence, though, when it comes to the way they're treated by those governments. And to draw a connection between those 1 million donations and to the Democrat Party refusing to punish them or even kick them out of QPAM, that makes you, I would say, probably a conspiracy theorist and maybe even a fascist. Now, a familiar battle is playing out, but the focus on oligarchs during Russia's invasion and the recent revelation about Credit Suisse's business practices have raised the stakes. In effect, Biden must now choose between his tough on oligarchs Ukraine policy and his Wall Street donors. Ooh, that's going to be a tough one, Joe. Saying stuff that you like saying, and then your actual financial relationships with Wall Street. What would it be? Is there a way I could carry on saying the stuff and not give up the Wall Street ties? Yeah, there is a way. That's called business as usual in Washington. According to data from Open Secrets, Credit Suisse employees gave more than $117,000 to Biden's 2020 campaign. And employees of the law firm representing Credit Suisse, Steptoe & Johnson, contributed nearly $140,000 to Biden in the 2020 cycle. So there you go then. Nothing to worry about there. There'll be no obstacle to ensuring that those oligarchs are met with the firm greased palm of the law. In the UK, which is where I live, Boris Johnson insists the government's economic crime, transparency and enforcement bill will continue to tighten the noose around Putin's regime. Ooh, you're hard. But the intended impression of resolve and determination does not quite hold up. The Golden Visa's Investor Visa scheme, launched in 1994, under which foreign nationals must show they have at least $2 million ready to invest in the UK, has been one of the keys to opening up Britain as a safe haven for dirty money from Russia. So that is going to be complicated, isn't it, to prosecute oligarchs if you previously made a pledge to let them have a golden visa. I got a golden visa. I got a golden visa. I got the right to march all around the world. It became the seedbed for an industry of UK enablers to help integrate Russian oligarchs and others into many levels of British life, including the Conservative Party. That's our Republican Party. The Conservative Party has long received funding from figures connected to, or at the absolute minimum, rich after association with, the Putin regime. So, the condemnation of the Putin regime occurs long after relationships have been established with people that benefited from that regime in ways that are glaring and obvious, and members of pretty significant aspects of British public life are examples of the benefits of Putin's regime. In 2011, David Cameron, he was Prime Minister then, went to Moscow and told his audience that Britain was open to their money as a matter of design. The whole point about trade is that we are baking a bigger cake, and everyone can benefit from it. Not everyone. Not everyone, Dave. Not everyone gets a slice of that cake. You get the cake. You've got your snout in that cake. Everyone can benefit from it. And this is particularly true, perhaps, of Russia and Britain. What a horrible analogy about a big cake being baked with fuck off written across the top of it. You can fuck off, you can fuck off, you can get your snout in, you can get your snout in. He went on. Governments need to remember that businesses don't have to invest in our country, they choose to. And we need to help them make that choice. It means the minimising of the burden of regulation. You can't go around regulating people.